Hello everyone and once again welcome to my channel Engineering Made Simple. Now we were studying digital system design. Now in digital system design where we were studying various techniques of system equation reduction. Now in today's class we are going to solve some example based on K-map simplification and that system equations which are given in standard SOP form we are going to solve and simplify and reduce those expression using K-map. So now we are going to learn how to reduce a given system equation in standard SP form using a K-map. So these are the following steps we need to follow while solving the numericals based on this. So first step is given by this number. First step, as we are talking about SOP, we need to group mean terms which are in adjacent cells. So we in this technique, whenever we are solving system equation logic expression, whenever we are simplifying a given system equation logic expression or a pair of mean terms which are given to us, and we are minimizing it using K-map or graphical method. So another name for K-map is graphical method because it is a graphical method also. So remember this thing. So whenever we are solving example based on this, so we are grouping only the number of ones present in the K-map. And the laws of grouping we discussed in the previous lecture. So if anybody has not seen it, please have a look at it in order to understand the grouping procedure. Next step is locate the number of isolated ones. Now, what are the isolated ones in the K-map? The ones that cannot be grouped with any other group, namely, what are the ways of grouping? That is pair, quads, and octets. So if there are ones that cannot be grouped, because we can group only the ones which are present in adjacent cells. So that was also one of the rule while grouping. So if there are any one of the mean terms which are left out, that is ones, and they are in at this they are not we are not able to group them. They are known as isolated ones. Then encircle these isolated ones to form a encircle these isolated ones. Now the third step, identify a pair of ones that can form a pair of ones. Identify a group of ones, sorry, or pair of ones is also fine. Pair of ones that form a pair of ones and encircle them. So identify which groups form a pair together and group them together and encircle them to form one group. So now what is the fourth statement? Now after searching for pairs, search for the number of ones in the adjacent cells which can be grouped into quads, octets and encircle them to form one group together. Now after identifying pair, quads and octets and isolated ones, after identifying all those, if there are still ones remaining in the K-map, then what you are supposed to do? Then try to see whether they can be accommodated or grouped into some another grouped into existing pairs, quads and octets. If they are in an adjacent cells and they are not grouped out, they do not form any quad or pair, but they can join easily a group of pair quad by adjacency principle. Then also see to it whether they can be combined in any other existing pair quads or octets. And this is how you simplify a given logic expression, Boolean expression using a K-map. So now this problem is given to you. Example number 1. Simplify the given logic expression system equation with the help of K-map. Now this expression is given in the form of mean terms over here. So when mean terms are given, you understand that the given logic expression or system equation is in the form of a standard SOP. So we have to group ones, that is mean terms. So this is given this way: y is equal to summation of mean terms 0, 1, 2, 5, 13, 15. Now we want to simplify this particular given system equation. This is a system equation only, but expressed in terms of mean terms. So y is equal to summation of mean terms 0, 1, 2, 5, 13, 15 is our question, and we want to simplify it using K-map technique. Now alternatively, the question can be also asked where when they will directly give you the equation in standard SOP form. Alternatively, the same question can be represented as, now see, y is equal to a bar, b bar, c bar, d bar, means I am representing min term 0. Then a bar, b bar, c bar, d bar, min term 2, min term 5 and so on. So this is the way of asking the question alternatively. Simplify the equation given in standard SOP form. As you know, whenever the equation is in standard SOP form, each individual term is a mean term. So they can ask you, this equation is in standard SOP and simplify using K-map. So this is another way of asking the same question. So now let us start simplifying. Now what all minterms we are having, that is we are having 0, 1, 2, 5, 13, 15. So let's fill up the corresponding cells corresponding to 0, 1, 2, 5, 13, 15, or cells corresponding to minterms by 1. So here in 0 cell we have 1. Here also we have for 1 minterm it is there. So 2 is also a minterm. 5 is also a minterm. And then 13, 15 we are having. 13 and 15. So let's say we have filled the minterms. Now what about the remaining cells in which there are no minterms present? Let us fill all those cells by zeros.
Nine.
Let us fill all the cells by zeros. And now let us check whether there are whether we can form pairs out of this one. So 0, 1, 2 is there. Sorry, I have written 2 wrongly over here. So 2 should be here and 3 should be here. So okay, so here it will be replaced by 0. So now let us check whether how to group these minterms now, and which ones are in the adjacent cells, that only we can group. So this one and this one form a pair. So this is our first pair, and then again these two ones form a pair, that is group minterm number 1 and minterm number 5. So these two ones form a pair, and then 13 and 15 also form a pair. So now we have grouped all the minterms. Now let us see how we are supposed to read the values. Now this is one pair, that is minterm number 0 and minterm number 2 forms a pair. Now how will you read this? The corresponding row corresponding to it is A bar B bar, because 0 0 is there over here. So A bar B bar. So this particular row corresponds to A bar B bar. So from this pair we will get this term. So from this particular pair, that is pair 1, we get this term, that is A bar B bar. And now let us read what the columns. Now here 12 cell corresponding to minterm number 0, we have C bar D bar, and the cell corresponding to column corresponding to minterm number 2, we have C bar D bar. So what is this? We have C bar D bar plus CD bar. Now have a close look over here. Here C bar changes to C. So whatever term varies when we are writing the expression, while we are reading, we have to ignore that, and that term gets eliminated because C bar changes to C. So C bar plus C is 1. So that's the reason this C will get eliminated. And which is the constant term from the column over here? Only D bar will be there. So A bar, B bar, D bar will be your term. Because why C bar got eliminated? Because it would be like C bar plus C. Because C bar changes to C, and what is C bar plus C? It is 1. So from this term from this pair we eliminated one variable, which is C. Now let us look at the other pairs. Now let us have a look at pair number 2 from this equation, that this particular which I have drawn. So here we have minterm number 1 and minterm number 5 forms a pair. So read the corresponding column value. What is the column value of that particular expression? C bar D bar. And now read the corresponding two rows in which the pair is present. So we are talking about this particular pair now. So here A bar B bar is there and A bar B is there. Now have a look here, A bar is constant. So that term will be retained in the final pair output. And here B is eliminated because it changes from B bar to B. So here it will be eliminated. Now the third and the last pair for this expression, which is, now see, this row is constant for minterm number 13 and 15. It forms a pair, right? So here we will write AB because it corresponds to A row corresponding to AB. But now here you see column value changes. That is, here this two it is, right? So C bar D and CD is there. So C bar changes to C. So this is varying because we are talking about these two minterms. So this is varying from here to here. So C gets eliminated and only D remains. So your final answer after simplification is y is equal to a bar b bar d bar plus abd plus a bar c bar d. So this is how you get a simplified expression. From this expression we got this particular expression. So this is minimized system equation. So that's the reason it is also called as the system minimization technique. So now we have next example. We have to simplify this particular logic expression, that is y is equal to summation of mean terms 0, 1, 5, 9, 13, 14, 15 plus this d, and in bracket represent these are the don't care conditions, that is plus d summation of 3, 4 or simply don't care 3, 4, 7, 10 and 11. So whenever system equation represents don't care conditions, it is represented by d or phi. So whatever terms are in bracket following this d or phi, they are don't care conditions, and they are represented as cross in truth table. In K-map. So they are represented. Now let us start filling our K-map. So what are our mean terms? We have mean term here 0, 1, 5, 9. Where is 9? Here is 9. 13, 14, 15. 13, 14, 15. So we are represented mean terms. Now we want to also represent don't care conditions in a K-map. So how will you represent those don't care conditions? 3, 4, 7, 10, 11. So 3, 4, 7, 10 and 11. Now let us start our grouping procedure. So this particular, now we can group mean don't care with ones. That was also one rule of grouping. So this is one quad, that in which I have grouped mean term 0 and 1 and don't care condition 4 along with mean term 5. So this way you can form a quad. And the next one is this particular octet, as you can see. Then the next quad is present over here. Remember, I am grouping in such a way that adjacency principle or adjacent cells are followed, and I am obeying all the laws of grouping also over here. So here in this particular example solution, we are having two quads which are present over here and one octet which is present in the center. Now let's start simplifying it. So this particular quad we are having. So what is the quad value? From this quad we get which term we get? Now see, this is a bar b bar and a bar b. So this is moving horizontally like this. So which all term is constant, that will remain in our term. So from here a bar will remain, and it is also moving it was moving vertically like this. Now in columns also we have to see c bar d bar and c bar d. So here d is varying and c bar is constant. So as you can see, quad eliminated following quad eliminated two variables. Now we have a term called as a bar c bar, this particular quad. Now let us have a look at this second quad which is present over here. Now the rows corresponding to this is AB and AB bar. So which term is changing over here? B is changing, so B gets eliminated, and whatever term remains constant will come over here. We are talking about this particular part. Now here also let us check the column values CD and CD bar. So as you can see, B changes to D bar and C remains constant. So from this second quad also our two variables are eliminated, that is B and D, and from this second quad we get AC at the output. Now let us have a look at this particular octet formed in the center. Now see, this particular octet is there. Now let us check its row values now here. So here a bar b bar is there, a bar b is there, ab is there, and ab bar is there. So here each variable is varying because all the four rows get covered. So in our final term we will not get any one of these row values because every variable is changing, and whatever is changing we do not include in our output. Now let us look at its column values, that is column values of octet. So because everything is changing, a bar is changing to a and b is also changing to b bar. No value is carried forward for this octet, particular octet in this. So now let us look at its column values. Now in columns it changes from, so this is particular octet, right? So we have to look at these two values, these two cells, that is C bar D and C D bar. Now observe here D remains constant and C is changing, variable C is changing from C bar to C. So what will be the output of this particular octet? Only D will be the output. So now we have simplified this particular expression. So let us write its final output. So from the first chord we get output A bar C bar, final output, plus from this particular second chord we get AC as the output, and from this particular octet, this one, we get only, so variable D, so this particular output. So this is the expression, and this expression can be also alternatively written as you can observe, A bar C bar plus AC is nothing but A X nor C plus D. So you can write it in this fashion also. So this is your final output, or you can simply keep it as it is. So now let us start studying third example for today. Now in this example they have asked to simplify a given logic circuit or Boolean circuit using K-map or graphical method. So K-map and graphical method means one and the same thing, and implement the following simplified system equation they are asking, and we are to supposed to draw the system equation or implement the system equation or realize the system equation. So these alternate terms are used when you are supposed to draw the circuit from the given simplified expression. So now when after simplifying the circuit using K-map, they are asking you to draw the circuit using basic gates, NAND gates only, and in the third condition NOR gates only. So if this particular type of question is asked, this question is asked for 10 marks in your university examination. So this particular question can be asked for 10 marks. Now this is the system equation given to you in terms of mean terms, that is y is equal to summation of mean terms plus don't care. Now another important thing which I forgot to tell you is regarding how will you know that what variable K-map will use. As when we were studying structure of K-maps, we studied 2 variable K-maps, 3 variable K-maps and 4 variable K-maps. But after seeing our logic expression or system equation, how will you identify that how many variable K-map you should use for analysis? So there is a simple trick to understand this. Now you have min terms given to you and don't care conditions. Now from that identify which is the maximum value. Here maximum value of 15 is given over here, and in min terms maximum value 14 is given. So maximum min term value 14 means this particular min terms represent the cell number or box number. So box number 14 can be only present in only 4 variable K-map, because a 4 variable K-map has 2 raised to 4, that is 16 total boxes. So this is how you will understand which K-map we should use. And in some cases you need not identify what variable K-map we have to use, because whenever equation is given in terms of a function, let's say y is equal to function of a, b, c, d, then by looking at this question only you understand that the output function, the output variable is a function of 4 input variables a, b, c, d. So you are supposed to use 4 variable K-map. So whenever function is not given, you are supposed to look at the mean terms, look at its highest value, and then decide whether you are going to use a 3 variable K-map, 2 variable K-map, or a 4 variable K-map. So understand this now. So this was the system equation given to us, which we are going to simplify first using K-map. So these are the mean terms and these are the don't care conditions. So now everybody knows by now how to fill the K-map. So I have filled the K-map with respect to mean terms and don't care conditions. Now in the next step, I will start grouping them. So as you can see, this part in red, these two, this one and this one. So this pair of 4 ones form a quad. So this is a particularly a quad. Now how we are going to read this quad value? So now you see, we will read these two values corresponding to the quad. So a bar, b bar and ab bar, out of which b bar remains constant. So at the output of quad we will get b bar, and then these two rows we will check, because these two columns we will check which are common for this quad, that is c bar d and cd. So now here d remains constant. So from this quad we get b bar d, and we have eliminated two input variables which are a and c. So for this particular quad we get b bar d as the output. Now here another quad is formed, and as you can see don't care conditions are given, but it is not possible to group them anyway. So let them be as it is. Now we will study this particular quad. So this forms a quad. Minterms 4, 12 and 6, 14 form a quad together. Now let us read this. Now this row. Now let us read the row values first. A bar b and ab. Now here a bar changes to a, so a will be eliminated, only b will remain. And now we are looking at this particular value, that is c bar, d bar and cd, the values corresponding to the columns of the quad. So c bar, d bar and cd bar. So c bar is changing to c again, so that gets eliminated, and only d bar will remain. So what will be your final output after simplifying these two calls? It would be b bar d plus bd bar. So this is your final output of simplification. Now what our question further states that you have to realize this particular simplified Boolean expression using basic gates. What is the meaning of basic gates? Basic gates are AND, OR and NOT gates. So whenever realizing using circuit diagram, so first one is using basic gates. And we have to realize this particular equation that we obtained after simplification, that is b bar d plus bd bar. So how will you realize that? Now b bar d. So here if we represent a signal named b over here, and we take its complement because we want complement, and we are going to use only AND, OR and NOT gate because that are only the basic gates available to us. And then this complement is also present in the system equation. So here let us take input variable d, and here d complement will be there at the output of this inverter or NOT gate simply, and at the output of this NOT gate b bar will be generated. Now what is our circuit? So b bar into d plus bd bar. Now b bar into d is there, so we will draw the circuit. So here one AND gate will be there, here b bar will be connected to it, and from here it will be connected to, let's say, d over here. So which will give our first term, that is nothing but b bar d. Now the next term, that is bd bar. Now how will you connect bd bar? So here at the top, here we will have one AND gate, and here d bar we are supposed to connect to it. So we'll tap the signal from d bar and connect it over here. So from that we will get the second term, which is bd bar, and these two terms are added. So that's the reason we will connect it to OR gate to get our final expression. So our final expression y we get by connecting to OR gate. So this is how we will realize the circuit using basic gates. So now we realize the circuit using basic gates. Now we are supposed to realize the circuit using NAND gates only. Now this is the expression which we got after K-map simplification, that is b bar d plus bd bar. Now we want to realize the circuit using NAND gates. So for that we will have to take double inversion of the equation, this particular expression y is equal to b bar d plus bd bar. So double inversion we want to take. Why are we taking double inversion? Because we want to realize it using NAND gates, and we don't want the meaning of the system equation to change. That's the reason we are taking double complement, because any variable raised to double complement is the same variable itself. So here again we have y is equal to b bar d plus bd bar, and we have taken its double complement for NAND gate realization. Now have a look over here, there are two complements present, and this expression is of the form b bar d plus bd bar. So we can apply De Morgan's theorem inside, That is when a bar plus, whenever there is term like a bar plus b bar, we can write it as a dot b the whole complement. So a complement dot b complement we can write. So that's why our equation reduces to this particular term and the complement at the top remains as it is. So this is represented by b bar d the whole complement and b d bar the whole complement by this particular expression, and one complement is there. Now let us move on to realize this equation number b over here. So when we realize this equation number b are the expression in NAND gate logic. So here is my input signal b and d, and I have generated its complement using NOT gate, which I have designed using NAND gates only, because we are supposed to use only NAND gates. And then I have just tagged the signals. Now first term is b bar d the whole complement. Now how will you realize b bar d the whole complement? I have taken b bar and d from here, so and connected it to a 2 input NAND gate. So I get the term at the output b bar d the whole complement. Similarly with the second term, bd bar the whole complement. So bd bar the whole complement, I have tapped the signal b and tapped the signal from d complement, and then connected to a 2 input NAND gate to get this particular output, that is bd bar complement. And the final output y contains one more complement over here. So for that complement I have used another NAND gate and I get the final output y. Now the third part of this question was remaining, that the simplified expression using K-map we have to realize using NOR gates only. Now how will you realize this particular equation using NOR gates? So let us solve it even further, so that we will be able to realize the circuit using NOR gates. Now here we have y is equal to b bar d plus bd bar. This is our equation number A. Now in order to realize using NOR gates, we are taking its double inversion of that expression, that is y is equal to b bar d plus bd bar. And why we are taking double inversion? By taking double inversion or double complement, the meaning of equation or system equation doesn't change even after some certain Boolean manipulations. So understand now. In this next step, so here this was b bar d plus bd bar the whole complement's complement. So now let us apply De Morgan's by using this inner complement. So when we apply De Morgan's, this is like a plus b the whole complement is nothing but a bar dot b bar by D Morgan. So this is nothing but b bar d complement dot bd bar complement whole complement. So we simplified the inner complement using De Morgan's. Now in the next step, now this bd bar is there, b bar d the whole complement is there, and bd bar the whole complement is there. So this particular expression is similar to a bar dot b bar. What is a bar dot b bar in De Morgan's law? For the next step I am asking. A bar dot b bar is nothing but a plus b the whole complement. So this bracket we have simplified using only De Morgan's theorem, this particular. So a bar dot b bar is nothing but a plus b the whole complement. So by that only we get, so b plus d bar into b bar plus d, and the complement at the top remains as it is. Now here we have expression similar to a dot b the whole complement now. So we again apply De Morgan in the next step. So we get a bar plus b bar, expression like a bar plus b bar. So that is b bar b bar plus d bar plus b bar plus d. So a bar plus b bar. This is equation B. Now again note here that we don't want to change its meaning, but just we are doing this manipulation so that we will be able to realize this particular system equation only but by using knowledge. So for that, when we obtain this equation B, we have to again take its double complement to get the final expression. So what will be our final expression? So b bar plus d bar the whole complement plus b bar plus d the whole complement. This is our equation B, and take double complement of it. So we get the final expression, and this particular expression, that is equation number C and equation number A, means essentially the same circuit. So by now we have obtained the circuit system equation. Now we have to realize it using NOR gates. Now have a look here. Here I have two input signals B and D. I have taken its complement also B bar and D bar by using NOT gates designed using NOR gates. So that we discussed how to design a NOT gate using NOR gates when we are discussing universality of NOR gates. So this is B bar D bar I have obtained. Now let's start implementing the expression. Our first term in the expression is B plus D bar to whole bar. So how will you realize this? Now connect one input of a NOR gate to B, connect one input to D bar. So B bar plus D bar, and how will you get this whole complement term over here? By passing it through NOR gate. So when I pass the given inputs through NOR gate, I will get B plus D bar the whole complement. Similarly for the next second term we get B bar plus D the whole complement. And then again one more complement is there at the top, this particular one, this particular complement. So for that particular complement we have connected those two inputs to another NOR gate over here. So till this part, at the output of this NOR gate we get equation number B. It is this particular equation. But this particular equation we got till now, till this point over here. But what is our final expression? This expression is double complement. Now this equation B we are getting. So only one complement we got, but we want two complements over here. So that's the reason we have connected another NOR gate in NOT gate configuration to get equation number C. So this is how we will realize the circuit using only NOT gates. So with this we finish this particular example. So if you like this video, please do like, share, and if you haven't subscribed my channel, click on the subscribe button. And also don't forget to hit the bell icon for the notification of all my latest uploads.